Hey guys, what's crack-a-lackin'? Somebody give me a 5 for 5 and we'll roll right on through like we always do, baby. Heck yeah. Hey Leisure, what's up? What's up, buddy? Hey V, what's happening? Tactical Survivor, Michelle, Rose, Butterfly, Audacity, what's up? Can't all good, Audacity. All good. Tiger's Eye. Lord K, what's happening, guys? Alright, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. If we're 5 for 5, we got one. Okay, thank you, John. Appreciate you, bud. Appreciate you, for real. Thank you. Yeah, guys, I'll do the YouTube stuff here right at the beginning. Hey, super chats are now active. That can work. If you guys want to super chat, it's all there. All good. If you can't, you don't want to, all good also. I take criticism very, very well, as long as it's respectful. Hey, BK. Also, I'll be starting memberships probably next week. I'm still working on that. I want to make sure you guys get some good emojis and things like that. But please go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you could. I'm trying to grow the channel, guys, so I can, help other channels. That's really kind of my goal. Sometimes you got to turn around and focus on yourself for a second so you can kind of, get back to regular and just kind of focus on that, make it solid here. That way I can help other people. That's my goal, I've told you guys many times, I measure my success by the people I surround myself, their success. And I've got quite a bit of successful people around me. I really do. Marfugel, Tommy, Rip, Trinity, everybody, V, Leisure, everybody in here, they're all successful, but what I'm saying is I like to help people. So that's why. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the space weather. Please be respectful in there, guys. I really do. I really hope you can be. You guys typically are. So, all right, guys. Yeah. So, what are we looking at? Well, we're getting hit right now, and let me show you what I mean by getting hit. Where's my Discover data at? Where did I put that one? I think it's here. Yeah. Okay. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering, how's he know we're getting hit without showing us some big model? I don't have to. This is how I know. You see right here? This is our space weather data, basically. This is the Discover data, and a lot of people use this. The big agencies use these. It's all, this is Space Weather Prediction Center. This is NOAA. And how I know we're getting hit is when all of our space weather data, all those data points start to move at the same time. So something is typically going on when they all move at the same time. Doesn't have to be a CME hit. It could be a coronal hole. It could be a whole lot of, cosmic rays can even make this stuff move. So, but right now we've been expecting a glancing blow from that earlier in the week CME I showed you guys already. But I got some really interesting stuff to share with you too. Kind of liking this one because there's a lot of stuff to really cool stuff to talk about, and a lot of stuff to think about, really. So this is space. This is the BZ. This is the polarity of our magnetic field. Okay, we look at the red line. We look for -6 or more. When it's in that polarity, when it's in that position, -6 or -7, -8, anything higher than that or lower, depending on how you're trying to term that. It puts our magnetic field in a position that it really does draw in space weather. Okay? Now, when this thing goes positive, it actually has an opposite effect. It doesn't mean that stuff still doesn't come in, because it absolutely does. But our magnetic field has a lot better chance of deflecting space weather when it's in a positive orientation. Okay? So that's what we look for first off. That's probably the biggest data point I look at right away. If we're not at -6, typically we're not going to get a geomagnetic storm or anything like that. It really does take that to be in that position to really take a good, significant hit. Now, I'm not going to say that we haven't been in a positive orientation and got a hit, and we went into geomagnetic storming, because it's happened, especially on a bigger hit. That can be overcame by the power of the eruption itself. Okay, there's other properties at work here other than just magnetics. Okay, so anyway, you can also, the phi angle here, people ask me what this one is all the time. I don't typically talk about the triangle a whole lot, but it is the polarity of the solar wind itself. Okay, and it flips all the time. See? And if you notice, it doesn't like hang out here either. It's either one or the other. It's typically how it works here. Okay? It does vary. It does get in a more negative or a more positive position itself also. But when that triangle flips, that can sometimes kind of tug on us magnetically, and that can actually itself put us into a geomagnetic storm. So, and this is the density. This is the density of the event that we're talking about, whether we're talking about a coronal hole stream, whether we're talking about CMEs, any of that. I'm going to put that to 1 day anyway. That was a 3-day chart. I like looking at this one because we kind of get a more closer, in-depth look here. So what you're looking at, guys, everything started moving right here. Okay? Now, density started going down and speed started going up. That's typical, right? If things are more dense, it takes a lot more speed and energy to kind of move those things along, right? So when the speed's high, typically our density is kind of low. It's on the lower end or kind of normal. 4 is normal, and 300 to 500 kilometers per second on speed is what we consider normal. But right now, none of this is really too out of whack, right? Now, we did get to 12 here, and again, guys, I don't hold a whole lot of stock in that because, you know, if it gets to 50 or 60, yeah, I'm going to say, hey, that's high, because it really is. But I've seen us get to those levels and never get a geomagnetic storm at all. So, anyway, so what are we looking at here? I'm going to go ahead and show you. Did I? Okay, there's seeds. All right. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to, this is the CME stuff that was happening back on the 29th. This is on Soho Observatory. This is LASCO C2. LASCO C2 is a coronagraph that's on that satellite. Okay, that's where this image is coming from. This satellite's 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. And it sits right out in front of us. Okay, so that's what we're kind of looking at there, right? Now, hold on 1 second here, guys. Sorry. Had something happen here. Alrighty. Anyway, okay, so this is what was back on the 29th, and this is where this could be that big, that's when we got the radiation storm. Now, we're into the 4th now. This one's already hit and gone, okay? This thing was moving pretty quick. We took a little bit of a glancing blow from it a couple days ago. It didn't get us into storm level, but it was significant, right? It was off target, basically. It was off to what we would call the west, which is backwards when you think about the sun. So when you're thinking about the sun, and when we're talking about space like this, things are backwards because you got to pretend you're standing on the sun looking out. Okay, so north-south's the same, but east-west will be reverse. So that was a very significant shot there. Okay, so I'm going to run you guys through here the next few days, right? We had a couple more eruptions on the 30th. Now, some of these aren't coming at us. Majority of them aren't, actually. But we do have some that are. And we are expecting to take a hit here late on the 5th, or was it the 4th or 5th? Yeah, so here, like right now, okay? And it's exactly what's happening. So their forecasting is pretty close, right? Now, whether or not, and I'm looking at this, see here? This is NOAA's forecasting. So remember, this is all in UTC time. So what that means is if you're on the East Coast, there's a 4-hour difference. So wherever you're at in the world, you can kind of, time that out yourself. But it all goes by UTC time. And they have to do that, or, when scientists are speaking to one another, things get all out of whack when they're talking about what's going on. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Now, let's go here. And so they are saying, right now we really should be taking some sort of hit. And we kind of are. So, we're going to see if it gets us into storm level. It could just be the beginning, or it could be just a glancing blow, and it's not even going to mean anything. Okay? But I do got some stuff to show you here on SDO, but I'm going to show you the rest of this first. Again, this is on the 2nd. Now, I do want to point something out here, because I noticed this too. So let me take this slow. Okay, you see this one blowing off? Notice how the shadow goes around this disc. Okay? See that? See how it blossomed out like that? That is a partial halo. This is a real disc that's on the camera. Now, the surface of the sun's over here where this white circle is. I'm not even sure what color the actual disc itself is. It really doesn't matter. It's there to block the main part of the sun's light to make sure that we can get an image at all. If not, it would just be overflooded with light, overexposed. So when we see these shadows poking out, we call that a halo. If it's all the way around, it's a full halo or kind of a half halo. Now, with that disc being there, it's in our way, right? So we can't tell if it's coming right at us or it's going directly away. All right, so we used to have a side view on stereo A, another satellite. That satellite is now hanging out close to us. So we don't have that anymore, you know? But they may be sending it back out. That might be pretty cool to see. But we'll see if they do. I hope they do. But yeah, so anyway, that was on the second. So what I'm saying is this could be, I think this one kind of missed too. But this could be the one that NASA showed, and it was showing us a direct hit. I think I showed you guys that one already. But NASA was saying it was going to hit us. NOAA was not. NOAA was saying it was going to kind of glancing below, which is exactly what their forecast was. So this is the third. This is the pretty much all the data we have. We might get some here on the fourth. But you're going to see here on the fourth, you're not getting a whole lot of imaging, right? Because there's not a whole lot of time yet. But anyway, here on the third, we didn't get a whole lot of action, at least what you would think we would have no action, right? It doesn't mean that things aren't happening right on the other side of this disc. Because I think they are. And I'm going to show you, okay? And, you know, whether it is going to get us here, whether it's going to hit us or not, it's going to be yet to be seen. They're not like huge eruptions, but I do want to show you. So I'm going to show you guys SDO, which I show you guys all the time. But I want to show you guys where this satellite is located. Okay? This is in what's called geosynchronistic orbit. Here's the satellite. And it stays over the same part of our planet all the time. And it rotates around our axis with us at 15 degrees an hour. Here is the satellite's orbit. This is what it does all the time. It stays in this figure 8 pattern right over top of this same part of our planet. But it's always pivoting to keep its eye on the sun. Okay, and that's represented right here. You can see it. Okay, they're showing you that right here. It's transferring data back down here to white sands. So what I'm saying, guys, is sometimes we get what we call an eclipse. It's eclipse season, right, for SDO, which means that the Earth actually will be getting in front of the satellite between the satellite and the sun. So keep that in mind when we're looking at these images, because sometimes it'll go dark. Don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. This is very, very easy to predict. And they do. They'll forecast. They'll tell you when eclipse season's coming. They could, you know, if this satellite was to stay there forever, they could forecast out forever and tell you exactly when things were going to happen. You know, these eclipses. So anyway, here's SDO. Now this is the 94 angstrom. This is just an angstrom of light, part of the spectrum. They could have gave this any color they wanted. So let me push play here. And I want you guys to pay attention to this one particular sunspot right here. Okay, that thing is just like flashing like a Christmas tree, right? None of those were real big until it fired off an M-class yesterday. And they gave us a R1 radio blackout on the day side of the planet. Okay, when that erupted. But watch out, this thing just gets very, very active. Now what you can't see, and I want to show you guys this, because you can't see the coronal hole, can you? You kind of can, because it's a darker area right here. But when I show you the 211, like I've shown you guys 1,000 times before, you're going to see that these things are communicating, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's really cool. It's cool, but it's crazy, all at the same time. Okay? So, let me back out of that, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it to the 211, all right? Remember, we can't see very much of the light spectrum at all. So they're able to siphon out the light and put a filter on this and show us just that specific little area of the light spectrum. And this one we're getting ready to look at is the 211. And they could give it any color they wanted. But it's looking at specific gases. I'm not sure what the 211 shows. I know the 304 shows ionized helium, and we'll look at that one also. This thing's loading. I'm sorry, guys. That's a lot of images to load there. So it might be, yeah. So, yeah, see the coronal hole, like, immediately shows up? Okay? So, I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to show you guys some things here that's, I don't typically get to show you because you can't really see it very well. Now, you see the sunspot here, right? You see the sunspot up here and up here. You see this darker area? Let me back out so you guys can understand what I'm talking about with that darker area. It's not a full hole, but it's definitely a thinner spot in the corona, in the atmosphere of the sun, between this coronal hole and this sunspot over here. When these things start erupting, you're going to see that this wave goes all the way in and it stops right at that coronal hole. You guys can probably see it now. So let me zoom in a little bit. I just thought this was really cool to show you guys. So when this thing resets, it'll reset here in just a second. Now watch here. Here's that sunspot. You're going to start seeing like little hazy spots go from left to right from this area to this. There were one right there. You see that? See how it's doing that? I just thought that was really interesting. It's like it's like this sunspot is communicating with the coronal hole, which this is the surface of the sun. Okay, the surface of the sun is colder than the atmosphere. All right, that's why it shows up darker. And again, I'm not going to get into that conversation. They're still trying to figure out why the atmosphere of the sun is actually hotter than the surface. But you can see how this is a significant hole. Do you guys see that one? So what I'm going to do, keep this imaging in mind. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys back out. I'm going to show you the 304. And you're going to see a little bit more of the eruptions here because they show up in like dark shadows. So let's let this thing load. I wish I could have all these preloaded for you guys. It would kill all my bandwidth and I wouldn't be able to even stream. But while that's loading, what I can do is take you over here. This here is our magnetosphere. The sun's off to the left, and this is space weather coming, or solar winds, CMEs, all those things coming from left to right, from the sun's direction, and it's impacting our magnetic field. So this is our magnetosphere. I'm not going to get into the difference there, but this is velocity. So let me just take that, and I'm going to grab the scroll bar. And this is nothing really out of the ordinary. You kind of see a little bit uptick there on the end. But that's because we're taking the hit right now. Now, it may not be all that significant of a hit, but we are getting hit. So watch, this is density. The light colors are lower density. Now you start seeing waves come in here. See this? This is another way I was able to tell you guys, hey, we're getting space weather. Why? Because there was nothing, look, all the same color, dark, which is higher density, until you get here. Then you start seeing it hit our bow shock. The bow shock is the first point of contact of our magnetic field to the solar wind or CME, space weather, okay? It's just like a boat going through water, guys, all right? So as that goes through there like that, boom, 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 right? Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. So we're taking the hit right now, right? So how do we know how hard it's going to hit? Well, I don't know that. I don't have that answer, all right? But we can look at this and give you and let you know exactly what's happening right now. This is magnetic pressure. Same rules apply here. And you can tell how it really didn't really affect our pressure, right? So this is not a hard hit at all right now anyway. But check this out. This is really, 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 really a interesting thing. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, this is what day was this? I think it was 2 days ago. This is our geoelectric field. This is not our magnetic field. This is the geoelectric field at the surface. Okay? Now, this just happened 2 days ago. I haven't done a live stream since this happened. So, check this out. I'm actually going to bring this up here. Okay. Now, I haven't shown you guys that do this in a long time. Watch what happens. Okay? I mean, yeah, I don't even have to really say much. That's a hit. Something happened and caused our geoelectric field to react like that. Now, I couldn't go back and find anything that pointed me directly to anything that would cause something like that. And when I say something like that, I'm specifically talking about this white right here. Now, I know it looks all intense because it is, but the white colors are the most intense parts. And it started over here in New England, and you could see it just rippled down. And it doesn't last very long. Okay, see it all kind of retreat back? And that's it. I was just able to catch that. I have no idea what caused that, right? We did have a flare right around the same time, but a flare shouldn't do that. Not like this. Not that I'm aware of anyway. Okay? It was just very intense. So, what happened just a couple hours ago? Check this out. Same thing. Same exact thing. And I looked at the date, and I was trying to figure out, you know, maybe the dates were all jacked up or something, but they're not. So if we look at this one, it's the same. It's not the same date. This is 2 days later. So I was like, man, it just looked, I don't know, you know, it really just didn't look quite. So I was looking at this, and I'm sitting here thinking maybe it's just a glitch, and maybe it's overlaying the same images, right? So let me check this out. Okay, so if we look at that one, and we look at that, is it the same image? It sure as heck looks like it to me. I don't know about you. I mean, it's a little different, I guess. Because I'm looking right here, like down here in New Orleans. And if you look here, this part stops right at the border of Texas. So if we go up here, same thing. It's the same imaging. So I'm not sure what's up with that, guys. Well, maybe it's not the same imaging because the arrows are closer. I don't know what to say here. I really don't. I don't know the answer here. It just looks like the same image got overlaid right there. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I can't give you a solid answer here, guys. To me, it looks like a glitch, and they overlaid the same image 2 days before. It looks exactly like the same imaging. You know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Somebody tell me. But that's just what I'm looking at. And so, if somebody shows you this geoelectric field model and says something's all jacked up, remember what I'm showing you here. It's probably just a glitch. I don't know why the same image would show up like this. I have no idea. I was just lucky enough to catch it 2 days ago, and then I caught it again today when I was setting up for this live stream. And I thought, well, maybe they were taking, because I've seen similar things look similar, but not exact. This looks exactly the same. Like, I could overlay it, I guess, but I'm not going to do that right now, obviously, with you guys. But the arrows are all facing the same exact direction, and that's giving you direction of the electric field here, okay? So if it was even slightly different, those arrows would be different. So I think it's the same images. So just keep that in mind, guys. I don't even know. I just don't even know. I'm just glad I was able to catch that, because let's see if it go a couple more images here. See what happens here. Let me back that up just a little bit. Okay, so let's compare these two. It looks like it's the same imaging, guys. I'm convinced of it. I really am. I don't know what else to say. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Please. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Who's doing that? Who is doing that? Thank you for the super chat. Andrea O'Neill, thank you. Well, you're welcome. Thank you, Andrea. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Very generous of you. Thank you. But what do you think, Andrea? Let me know. Anybody, let me know in there, guys. Please. Did you hear about the study from a physicist that said satellites are... I'm getting ready to talk about that. I sure am, Rick. I sure am. It was a study that was much overlooked back in the late months of 2023. So we'll look at that in a minute. So let's okay. So thanks again, Andrew. I really appreciate that. It was kind of shocked me there a little bit. Thank you. But anyway, let's go ahead and so let me know what you got. You guys, that looks like the same imaging, right? Or am I just not even looking at anything? Well, thank you. I really would like to know you guys' opinion on this. It looks the same to me. And, take that for what it's worth. I don't think there's anything like crazy fishy going on here. If it is the same exact imaging, I would lean towards it's just a glitch. Somehow it just popped in there. And that does happen from time to time. It really does. So, but, okay. So, anyway, because I couldn't, it was really throwing me for a loop when I seen that happen the first time, because I couldn't see anything that would cause something like that. And I was like, what in the world's going on here, right? Typically we would see what? A geomagnetic hit. CME would cause something. Typically when geomagnetism is taking a hit, so is the geoelectric field. They almost react simultaneously because the same things affect them. Now, so what's the geoelectric field? Again, it's the geoelectric field at the surface. And you're going to notice on these maps that you'll see more activity around bigger cities, right? Because there's more artificial electrical components. Because that's what it's trying to show you here. It's trying to show you it's a space weather's effect on artificial electrical components. Okay, like wall switches, transformers, any of that stuff. Any of that stuff that isn't grown from the ground or just naturally there, right? So that's what this is trying to show you. So you're going to have more artificial components around like the bigger cities. Okay, that's just what it is. Now, let's So when we do take hits, though, usually when this is reacting, so is this, and that's my whole point here. Okay, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's the surface, Brian. The geoelectric field's at the surface. So and again, guys, there's other things that can affect the geoelectric field that doesn't affect geomagnetism too. If you guys would have to really get into some really deep dive, like the global electric circuit, things like that. So, I'm not going to get into that today. But because Rick brought up the satellite, here you go. This is spaceweather.com. Now, I had seen like bits and pieces of the report or the paper that was written, the research paper. But, I really didn't, and I'm just going to be honest with you, I kind of overlooked it. Nobody was really talking about it, and I kind of forgot about it. I didn't really think, typically when something like is really going to affect us big time, a lot of people will grab a hold of it. People that are on a way higher pay grade than me, a lot smarter than me. Okay? So what I'm saying is, so I just kind of let it go, right? Because it is kind of, you sit here and you think, how can a satellite affect our geomagnetic field? How's our magnetic field getting affected by our satellites that we're putting in the air? Well, they can. And here's how. So this is spaceweather.com. Please go give them some love. I really do. If I could get one of my mods to put a link to this in the live chat there, I would really appreciate it. It's in my description box also. Anything that I show you here, guys, any of the sites I go to, any of that stuff, I give credit to those people in my description box. So their links are there. So if you want to go check it out, you guys can go look in the description box. Or you can do stuff like, watch this. Go over here to NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center and scroll down. Everything I show you, almost everything, not everything, but almost everything I show you is down here at the bottom. These are all the models. Don't be afraid to go mess with it. Your tax dollars paid for this stuff. Go use it. Okay? The best way to learn is just to go start looking at it. It really truly is. That's how I mean, don't be afraid of it. You guys are smart. You guys are way smarter than me. I can tell you that much. I've learned more from you guys than I have learned ever from just trying to teach anybody else. You know, the way I live my life, guys, you know, the second you think you know everything about anything is the second you stop learning. And it's unfortunate for people that have huge egos because they already think that they know everything, you know? So they can't, at that point, their learning stops. Even if something new comes up, they don't want to accept it as new stuff because they think they already know everything. And that's the problem with the big ego. And I'm going to say this too. There's a clear difference. I don't want to say clear. There's a difference between confidence and ego. All right? Somebody can come out here and be very, very confident and forward with what they know, but they don't have to be hateful and dismissive when somebody tries to tell them something they think is the truth. That's the difference. Okay? And I won't, you know, I'll listen to people with egos because guess what? People with egos typically are fairly smart. They're typically on the higher end of all that. You just got to be able to decipher out all the negativity and all the BS that they've got thrown out there for you. Okay? But 99% of the stuff that they talk about is probably true. It's just nobody wants to listen. Well, I don't like listening to those people because it just puts you in a negative headspace. But I do it anyway because I learn from people that are smarter than me, and I'm okay. They can have the ego. I'll sit back and just soak in all the knowledge. How about that? I think at the end of the day, I win on that end. I don't know about you guys. But anyway. Oh, and by the way, guys, give me a roll call in there. Hey, Piper Lynn, good to see you. Hey, Jeff. Kathy's in here, baby. Oh, yeah. Wharton, what's happening? Yeah, I agree, Brian. For sure. Okay. So what they're talking about, guys, they're talking about the satellites. All these satellites going up, right? There's so many more, and they did a study, and I'm not going to go into the study because it gets pretty deep. They're talking about the Van Allen belts and how much mass this and that. And I'm not going to start throwing a bunch of word salad at you because I think I would bore you to death. I really do. I understand exactly what they're trying to say, okay? And I understand why they think this could be affecting it. But I'm also a little guarded on this too because depending on where you fall with the whole changing of our weather, I'll say, if you guys know what I'm talking about, on a global scale, if you get what I'm saying there, I can't say the word, it'll just smack the video all over the place. I do think that they could work that into some sort of false whatever with that. I don't want to say false, just too much. You know, I just, yeah. So anyway, what I'm saying is I do think that what they said and what I'm reading here and everything that I've read and all, if you guys go over here, you can just click on these little hyperlinks and you'll learn everything that they're talking about that Dr. Tony Phillips is saying here. Dr. Tony Phillips is awesome. He's the one that runs this spaceweather.com. So please go over and check him out. But anyway, I can give you a quick rundown. I'm not going to sit here and read the whole article because I want you guys to go over here and look at it because he deserves the traffic for this. And something else I'll say is Ben over at Suspicious Observer, he did a video on this about 7 minutes long. I think he did it yesterday. And he touched on almost every point. And I kind of fall in the same area with him with what's going on. I don't know exactly what's going on, how much, because the science on this looks very solid. Okay? But how much it really affects us, I'm not sure. and that's to be expected on something new. You know what I mean? Because we are putting a lot of satellites up there, guys. I mean, just face it. That's just the truth. I can't, because there's a few YouTube channels out there. I'm subscribed to one of them. I forget what it's called. But every time SpaceX fires one up in there, they're throwing 23, 24 satellites out there at once. Every time they send the SpaceX up there, launching them satellites. And they're not the only company doing it, okay? So we're putting lots and lots of satellites up there. There's going to be lots and lots of debris. And I'm not going to go into how this actually affects, but basically it's just adding more stuff, and it absorbs particles and deflects other stuff. It can get very, very... You can get lost in the weeds, is what I'm saying. So, if I was you, Ben broke it down really good over a Suspicious Observer. And go over and watch his last, I think it was like a 7-minute video. And I'm not even sure what it was titled, but I'm sure it was titled something about these satellites. Okay? But go check that one out. He really did lay it out really good. I'm not sure if he even really knows where he falls on the whole thing, because it's all brand new. Okay? I think I would bore you if I tried to explain it to you. So, but anyway, he keeps it to 7 minutes, and that's pretty good for a subject like this. So, but I would highly suggest you guys go over here to spaceweather.com. It will really, basically, like I said, guys, the more satellites up there, the more satellite debris you're going to have when these satellites die. And the more stuff you're putting up in there, you're adding mass and everything else to in low Earth orbit. And it just, I understand the science part of it. And I may try to touch on this again as more news comes out with this, because I think this is just the beginning of it. I think once everybody grabbed this and started talking about it, it's probably going to get to be pretty big news. And people are going to start addressing this, and it's going to be getting, kind of that way is what I'm trying to say. So, all right, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you guys fire some questions in there at me if you want. I would really appreciate it. If you want to fire some questions at me, I'll try to answer them best I can, guys. So, hey, Miss V, good to see you. Oh, am I buffering? Yeah, you're right, Courtney James. 100%. Am I buffering, guys? I can shut some stuff off here. That way I won't buffer as much. Let's go ahead and kill that. And what we'll do is I never did show you guys this either. I'm sorry. So we'll look at this as you guys fire some things in there. That's okay, Piper Lynn. Hey, what's up, Joan? Good to see you. No buffer? Okay, cool. But guys, remember I said this coronal hole, it's right here. I know you can't see it on this angstrom. But check out what happens here. You're going to see a lot of like little eruptions here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I meant to show you guys this earlier and I kind of got sidetracked. Sorry. See that thing just getting hyperactive? And you see all those dark shadows? That's plasma, guys. That's an eruption. Okay? And there was a lot of them. So what I'm saying is we could be getting a lot of small little CMEs. And most people aren't going to talk about them because they're kind of like what we would call stealth CMEs. You just you can't see them because the sun's the background. And we're getting better at noticing them. I can tell you that. But you can see how this is happening. Now, what I do want to point out, guys, this sunspot is actually fairly big. And it's rotating right in front of us. So if this thing wants to fire something off, it's going to come right at us. And yeah, you're right, Piper Lynn. Big filaments laying across there. So, and we had a bigger eruption over here too the other day. Let's see if it'll... I'll back this off a little bit. Maybe we'll catch it. The one the other day happened during the day after that radiation storm, I think. But it was pretty big. All this stuff started collecting, and it just erupted out. Right here. Watch right here. It's getting ready to happen. See that? That was a pretty big eruption. And it didn't come at us, but that's just what it is. You think it's a little bit different, Judy? I'll have to dive into that. If it is, I trust you. I'll go look at that again. Because it just really was strange. Hey, what's up, River? Good to see you, bud. Hey, guys. If you guys don't know who Rip is, please go find out. He does, I mean, I enjoy watching his videos so much. And I know I tell him that all the time, but I truly mean it. Not to mention he's just a great friend and a great guy. Most of you guys probably already know who Rip is, but guys, he's making videos again. Okay? Somebody throw his links down there. He's in my featured channel section. I changed my channel setup a little bit, guys, when you come to it. I'm not really, he might even be in my description box. I've got like 4 or 5 in my description box of the ones that are my really good friends and the people I really support. But the featured channel section, I've got that there now, and I'm trying to clean up the channel, make it a little bit more concise and people know. But yeah, guys, Rip Curl Readiness and Rip Curl Readiness at the Range. I mean, he's making some really good prepper videos. If you guys want to know anything about bang bangs and pew pews, head on over there. Hey, Miss Dragon, good to see you. Thank you for putting that in there for me, girl. Really do appreciate that. Really do. And guys, as always, please go check out Tommy over at the Lifeboat. Marfugal. Most of you guys know who all these people are already. Just know that. So, before everybody heads out, give me a roll call. I want to see where everybody's from. I've been trying. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. It's okay. I'm doing a really late, weird time stream. My wife got some movie ticket gift cards for Christmas, and we tried to do things with our family, like our whole family, like all 5 of us. I got 2 grown boys, and well, a girl will be 17 this month. Sometimes it's difficult to get everybody together, and when we're able to do that, that takes precedent on anything I got to do. I can tell you that 100%. That's right, baby. Good to see you, Lord Andrew. Southern Cal, Texas, Edmonton. Oh yeah, baby, I love my Canadians. West Kentucky. Picayune, Mississippi. All right. Oklahoma, Las Vegas, UK. Hey, heck yeah. What's up, Rob? Spin some slots for me, would you? The Unknown Comet. New Mexico, baby. Hood, Canada, Washington. If I miss anybody, I'm sorry. They're rolling through there quick. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. You know what, guys? I know people probably don't understand this that don't do channels, but just that little roll call, it puts more comments in there, and YouTube sees that, and they push the video. It does. It makes a difference. Not to mention that I truly do want to know where everybody's from, because I find it extremely interesting. Colorado, that's what Mr. Leisure's saying. Heck yeah, baby. Heck yeah. Hey, we're close. Me and you talked about that before, Curb. We're close, ain't we? I'm in Indiana myself, guys, in case you guys didn't know. Is Heather Joy in here? Where's she at? I miss her? If Heather's in here, hey, girl, what's up? Did I miss her? Where's she at? Must have missed her. Huh. Well, if you're in here, hello. Queensland, Australia. Heck yeah, Karen. Oh, yeah, we got, hey, Enrique. Where am I from? I am from Indiana. Washington State. See, guys, Hopkinson, what's up? Guys, let me tell you guys something. Hey, Mark, what's going on, Karen? Guys, thank you, Rip. I appreciate you, man. It's just, guys, I can't tell you how much of a bridge that our community has with other channels, because we all gravitate. We're like-minded people, and we all gravitate towards each other. and it's very evident. It's very obvious who we gravitate towards. You know, when you see somebody in my chat, you can go over to the lifeboat. You're going to see them over there. You're going to see them over in Mark's chat. It's everywhere. Mark Pires, guys, we got to, you know, he's actually struggling a little bit. They got him with some sort of strike they gave his channel. He was on suspension for 7 days. I think he's getting ready to go back to his main channel, but yeah. So we need to support Mark Pires on that, because go sub up to his second one. Oh, you hot? Yeah, it's summertime there, isn't it, Karen? Yeah, we're all over the place, ain't we, Zachary? I mean, we are. So yeah, but it becomes one big community, one big family, and we really do. Hey, Tom. Brunswick, Canada, baby. Heck yeah. So yeah, guys. Where are you from? I'll try to find your channel. Yeah. A butterfly. If you go down into my, like, if you come to my channel, go down to the featured channel section. Both of his channels are in there. All you gotta do is go click on them. Andrea, what's up? Oh, is he back? Is he back now on his main channel, Andrea? You talking about Mark Pires? I hope so. Hey, Cindy Lou, good to see you. Yeah, 38 degrees Celsius is pretty warm. Yo, yeah, for sure. For sure. It's good to see you guys. I really do. I mean, and I know, and there's going to be people that give me a whole bunch of crap about sticking on here at the end talking to you guys. But you know what? That's why I do this mainly. It's a connection thing. It really truly is. And you can go, like I said, you go to the other channels, Marfoogle, Lifeboat, Ripper, Trinity, Ilea, any of those other channels, guys, I'm telling you, I won't send you guys to channels that I think are just rude, mean, and just crap people, okay? Now, there are channels out there that I'll say, hey, go check them out, and they fall into that category I was talking about earlier, where their ego is just way big. Hey, IG. That reminds me, every time you pop in here, IG, Isaiah's granny, I think about Ron. Go over and check out Ron over at Emergency Management Associates. He does a lot of good earthquake and seismic activity stuff, guys. Again, here's the other thing, guys, too. If I've not got them in my featured channel section yet, I don't hide my subscription list. The channels I subscribe to, you guys can see them. So you guys can go down through because I typically don't even watch somebody unless I'm subscribed to them. Thanks again, Andrew, for that super chat earlier. That was really nice of you. So yeah. All right, guys. I think I am going to go ahead and pop off. This is just a weird time to be streaming. Oh goodness gracious. But anyway, if you guys got any ideas, stuff you want me to add to the membership stuff, I'm getting ready to do that this coming week. If you guys have any ideas, please email it to me, or just put it in the comment section or something like that. I try to read every comment. I'm not always able to respond to everybody because it does get a bit overwhelming. But yeah, so. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pop off. So, you know how it goes. God bless. Yahusha saves. And, yeah, you can drink this Kool-Aid.